Hey guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Hello,
Happy
everyone.
Monday, everybody.
Second week of the year.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be a great year, PJ. It already is a great year.
Yeah, we've already started out fantastic with an award ceremony on Friday.
That was so much fun. Did you guys watch that? We had Terry from Texas and her husband, and they flew in. They had won the Explorer ST, the 400 horsepower Ford Explorer ST, and they drove it home. Have you heard from her? Did they make it home yet?
I hadn't heard from her at all, so
yeah?
I'm not sure.
I wonder if they stopped at Disney World and got lost. I doubt it. They probably were beelining it back home. Tomorrow, let's reach out, make sure she got home safe, and have her send a picture, okay, PJ?
Yeah, Ford Explorer winner, fantastic.
That was great. A lot of winners this month to announce. On January 12th. That's coming up really, really soon, PJ.
It is. What do we got going on the 12th? We got to
call the winners for the Corvettes.
Yeah.
And the Backyard Buddy lift.
That's right. We're super excited about that. A lot of people are super excited about that.
A lot of people are super excited about that. And then on the 20th, we're going to hold the award ceremony for the F-350. Terry from Ohio, not related to Terry from Texas, will be here. And he will be picking up the F-350, and he's going to drive it home to Ohio. And you know what? And that's what that 350 was built for.
That's right.
Highway driving.
Jeffrey's
so
in the
I'm very
house
happy with that.
From Maryland. Want to say hi?
Maryland, go crab cakes.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. One day, 10 hours left for you to enter to win.
Look at that touch screen.
I touched it with a piece of paper in it, did it, PJ? For you to win a trip to Daytona, a city in Florida.
Ending one day.
Where there happens to be a race in February. You'll get a VIP race experience, 4-day, 3-night, a hotel stay, airfare. Go ahead, PJ.
And that's in Daytona.
That's in Daytona.
And there's a race around that.
And there could be a race in Daytona in February. You guys will have to really put on your thinking caps so you'll know which race is in there. We're legally not allowed to
call it the Daytona 500.
Wait, we can't call it the Daytona 500 Dream Giveaway, so we're not calling it that. It's a Daytona Dream Giveaway.
That's right, but you only have...
One day, 10 hours, 58 minutes, so on and so forth, enter to win. So guys on the East Coast are going, but wait a minute, that means 3 a.m. of my time the day after. That's right, because we allow until midnight closes Pacific time.
Not Hawaiian time.
No, we had to draw that cutoff somewhere, so we did it Pacific time.
Right.
There we go. So get your entries to win. You know, there are more than 20 giveaways here, and I'm going to show you guys again. We've had to redesign that navigation bar on the website because there's so many giveaways.
Some people do reach out to us and say, hey, I just want to know what the classic cars are.
Yeah, so you can click on classic cars. There you go. What's next to end? GTO and the Boss 302.
And of course, you've got your modern performance vehicles.
Miata is next to end, 40 days.
Ooh.
Okay. Like going on. Ultimate Trucks. Frontier is ending in 10 days. Can you kind of swing around that way and show it, PJ?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Frontier right there?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right there.
I'm telling you.
10 days.
You know, I drive that truck. It's the right size for around town. You can put stuff in the back. You can go out if you're kind of an outdoorsy person, and I'm not. You could go out and enjoy all sorts of stuff like the rinse kit and the Live Water Sports and the Napier tents.
Pedro says, hey guys, I'm glad I'm watching you guys live. Still waiting for the call on the dual Corvettes. January 25th is my birthday, and it would be the best awesome gift.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, cool. Sure, a lot of guys born in January keeping those fingers crossed. Even if you're not born in January, keeping those fingers crossed, right?
That's right.
Daytona's under lifestyle, ending soon. Here you can see everything ending soon. So Daytona in 1 day, Frontier in 10 days, GTO 21 days, Boss 302 in 36 days. And remember, what do we have, 22 giveaways? Let's go back to the main page and let's look at them all, shall we? Okay, so here, this randomizes. So every time you come to the page, you get a different look there on the main one. So we've got 2 there, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, BMW is 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 to old, 21 going on right now.
And you know, they're not only right there on the screen, they're all right here in our Dream Giveaway garage.
All of them? Yeah. That is just so cool. So you guys make sure to find your favorite giveaways. And I'm going to give you a suggestion, though it probably doesn't, you don't have to do it this way. Why don't, when say you really want that Shelby, well, why don't you get a couple extra tickets for Daytona? Or say you really want the Corvette Fuelie, why don't you get a couple extra tickets for the BMW or the Supra or Daytona?
Because you cannot win one if you don't have a ticket for it.
If you don't have a ticket in it, you can't win.
I think my daughter
So
back in
get
the
tickets
day,
in as many as you can.
my daughter went to one of those white elephant things where you put your tag inside a
Yes.
gift. And she was wondering why she wasn't winning all the other ones. I said, well, you put all of your tags in one gift.
That's right.
You can't win the other ones.
If you don't have an entry in it, you can't win. So put your entries across a whole bunch of these. There's some guys who do that religiously, right?
Yeah.
Their ticket certificate will be a couple pages long.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So anyway, today we're going to be talking about Camaro. What's today's title, PJ?
Spoiler alert.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the spoiler
Spoiler alert on the Camaro Z28?
on the Z28. So Kathy says some guys were pushing back that the three-piece spoiler on the Camaro, and it looks really, really
Can
good.
we go take a look at it?
Let's go do it.
Because we want to know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Here.
That this three-piece spoiler is not correct for 1970.
Wait, because this piece is one, the trunk is
One,
kind of like one,
2,
and then
three.
the other side.
Correct.
This three-piece spoiler is not what?
Is not correct.
Well, what do you need to be correct about?
That it should be a one-piece lower spoiler for 1970.
So what do the pieces go up along with the trunk? If it's one?
Yeah, it's just one piece, and it doesn't go all the way onto the quarter panel like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have one that does the three pieces. And
This
goes
has
all
a
around.
three-piece on it. First
So
of all,
tell me
guys, I
why.
got to tell you that sometimes we get cars that are points judged that are 100% correct. Sometimes we get cars that are hot rodded, might have a bigger engine or a different cam or, different shocks. We never guarantee that you guys will get a 100% correct car, because there's no way we can know. We weren't there on day one when the car was built, right? We're talking, these things are 50 or 60 years ago. We do our best. And if we know something has been added, we're happy to tell you that. But we don't always know. We're humans, right? So let's talk about what we know about some history of the Camaro spoiler in 1970. So Corvette wanted to dominate drag racing, and they had a spoiler package to dominate SCCA Trans Am as well. They tried it with the standard issue short spoiler, and it got significant lift at the rear of the Camaro, in excess of 120 miles an hour. Racers don't want that. So what did they do? So they borrowed the center cap from the Firebird, from the Trans Am, from 1970 and a half. And then they made they had a company called A.O. Smith, which was a tier 1 provider to General Motors, tool up the individualized end caps.
This is the original.
What's that?
The original one that they did.
No, not the original, not the short one. The short one was having downforce problems. So they came up with taking one from the Firebird and coming up with a prototype. And with the new one, there was 168 pounds of downforce instead of 120.
That's a big difference.
Big difference. So it would sit down low. It's called a COPO part, Central Office Production Order. Only about 500 Camaros in 1970 received that option. But by the middle of 1971, they all got it. So, is there a way to determine whether this is one of the 500 that in 1970 got the spoiler? There really isn't. Because we don't know who bought it on day one at that dealership way back when. What's a more likely answer? Everybody loved these in the 70s. In fact, I talked to the guy who restored it, who has known the car since 1980. It's over 40 years ago. He said when he heard about the car when he bought it in 1980. It already had a 3-piece spoiler on. But during the restoration, he put a new 3-piece spoiler on there. So there you go. That answers the question. Was it born with the 3-piece spoiler? Probably not. Does it look cool? I think it looks really cool. How about you guys?
Well, honestly, there's a lot of people right now saying, Eric says, glad that the C8 has that spoiler delete option since it looks better without it.
You know, that's a great thing. And of course,
popular.
yeah, while we're waiting for to find out who won on this, you know, high wings look kind of aggressive. This looks really classy to me. I really like the spoiler delete on this car.
Of course, that beautiful Stingray right there.
And the beautiful Stingray, that's right. What do stingrays eat? Do you have any stingray food, PJ?
Plankton, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, no spoiler here.
Yeah, no spoiler. Absolutely love it. So guys, thanks for asking these questions
And we're super
on these
excited.
things. Now, and here's the other thing. If we know a car is a judged, points scored car or capable of it, then we're going to tell you that too, right? Like the 65 Vet, like the 64 Fuelie, like any of the classic stock restored vets that we give away. A lot of those have gone through a judging procedure where they've been scored. And even the nicest ones might not be 100% correct. They might be a point or two off. So listen, what's it about? It's about enjoying these cars. And when you help out charities, you got a chance to win one of them. If you decide you want to take the Camaro or any of these other cars and start competing in national points judged competitions, then all the power to you. But you may find after your first score that there's some things that you need to correct. Not everybody has that sort of wants to go down that direction. One other car that I'll point out that was so near perfect. Remember the blue GTO?
Yes.
No, not the
Our Liberty Blue one.
Not the Liberty Blue, the one before that.
Yeah.
That was points scored. And that, I think, was 399 out of 400 points, 398 out of 400. That's about as perfect as you can get. This Camaro, the 70, has not been points scored. So would it get dinged in a scoring competition because it has that 3-piece spoiler? Sure. But again, this is about enjoying these cars, being able to help out the charities, and having a chance to win something.
Well, like Rex says here, I'll take 99.9% accurate car over not having one.
Oh, I heard that. Now, you want to talk about accurate? 600-mile Monte Carlo.
Well, 619, I think.
Okay, PJ's being
618 and a half, really.
618 and a half miles. Okay,
That's
PJ. This car is correct. And, you know, even on this, when we got it, I think there was something that...
Even to the cassette tape player.
Even to the cassette tape player. But, you know, I think the alternator had to be changed. And I told him, I said, do not give that alternator as a core. Save that original date-coded alternator, right?
Yep.
So that's it on the Monte Carlo. New cars, Camaros, 100% correct. But then they talk about something like the Hellcat. Just like back in the day, you take off the factory tires and wheels, you put on something wider and cooler and lower. Same thing. So we're modifying some of the new stuff as well. So we got something for everybody, right?
Speaking of being correct, how does the headliner look in the Monte Carlo? Is it sagging? Because that would be correct.
Yes, it is.
It is. It actually is. So you could definitely guarantee it.
Yeah, it's
100%.
100% original.
That's right.
There you go.
Mike Green says,
that's
is
so funny.
Points scored on the Charger 500?
You know, there's a great question. I know that it's been decoded. There's a Chrysler registry that can decode those cars, but I don't think that it has actually been point scored. I don't see any scoring sheets with the Charger 500. However, the intent of that car appears to me that it could compete in a point scored competition. I'm not saying it would be perfect, but it is darn nice looking.
Now, if someone were to win this this Camaro and look
Sure.
at this 3-piece spoiler,
Yeah.
could you change it out?
Of course you could. They're simply bolts underneath the deck lid that hold these pieces in. You might have to, I don't know if you'd have to touch up the paint underneath these spoilers or not, and we're not going to pull this three-piece off to determine that. But of course, if you were so inclined to go, you were so concerned about it that you needed it to be 100% born with correct, you could change this back to a one-piece spoiler. And again, we don't know for sure, because we know that about 500 of them did come with that spoiler. In fact, I'm going to show you on the big screen a site that you guys should check out if you are Camaro fans and you'd like to learn more about those classic Camaros. So it's called nastyz28.com.
And what do we see here?
So what you see here. So here we have Camaro spoiler information. However, there's all sorts of knowledge base information going on here. Let's talk about what's going on here. So spoilers have been an option, D80 on the second gen Camaro since 1970 or 70 and a half. Right here, 70 to 71, low one piece, 71 to 81, tall three piece. And then you can read about it. In 70 and early into 71, the standard rear spoiler was a low profile one piece, a very limited three-piece spoiler. Was borrowed from the Pontiac Trans Am and available in 70.
There's the three-piece right there, and there's the one-piece.
And there's the one-piece. So you guys can see the difference between the two. Again, I told you that when it was restored, because a three-piece had been on it since 1980, the restorer kept a three-piece on it. And
So
it's a popular thing
It
to
could
do.
be extremely rare Copo three-piece.
Or it could have just been added, and we don't know. And so we can't say one way or another. But what a fun piece of trivia it is if someone asks you how many Copo three-piece spoilers were made in 1970. You can then raise your hand because you learned it at Dream Giveaway, who learned it from nastyz28.com, that there were an estimated 500 equipped with that.
Ooh, it'd be nice to know if that one's actually legit.
Yeah, who knows? So there you go. Okay, time for you guys to tell me what's going on with you today.
Do we ever show the undersides of the classic cars, Paul wants to know, and we actually used to.
We used to.
Yeah, we could get them on the lift and get them up underneath there, but we just don't want to play around with the cars too much.
Yeah, so there's that answer. Any other questions out there, PJ?
We're talking about the Corvettes. Pedro says, if I win, I'd give the classic Vet to my dad, which I can imagine would be amazing.
Yeah.
I'll keep the other Vet. Fingers crossed. Good luck, everyone, and God bless.
Well, that's such a nice sentiment for your dad there, isn't it?
That's beautiful.
Yeah. What else? Let me show you something else at nastyz28.com. Check out the second generation Camaro owners group, and you can find this is all such cool stuff on here. Sheet metal, doors, front end metal, bumpers, chrome trim. I know what Kathy wanted me to talk about, the RS option. So some people are saying it can't be an RS and a Z28. That's incorrect. It can't. So in 1970, the RS package, or the Rally Sport package, was an appearance package. You could get it on any Camaro, a 6-cylinder, an 8-cylinder small block, 8-cylinder big block, and a Z28, and an SS. So if you got it on the Z28, it was called a Z28 RS. Part of that package is the split bumper right there.
Wow, so this is pretty nice for the Z28 website. Fanatics.
Absolutely. So you guys, please, if you're into learning more about that second generation Camaro, I don't know if there's a better site out there with information than nastyz28.com. So,
Mike Brown wants to know, how about the lack of spoiler on the Boss 302?
well, we know on that because we have all the paperwork. It was not ordered on it.
Oh, there's a ton of paperwork.
Yeah, so as much paperwork we have on that Boss 302, we know exactly how the gentleman ordered it. And you know what's interesting, and I don't want to keep going on and on and on about this spoiler thing, but when the gentleman who restored it got in 1980, he went back to the original owner and he tried to get all that original paperwork. And for whatever reason, he was unable to obtain it. And for 40 years, he was hoping that maybe that paperwork would appear, but it didn't. So there you go. Regardless of whether that's a low-piece spoiler or a high-piece spoiler when it left the factory back in, what, May or June of 1970. It's a heck of a car to win when you help out charities, right, PJ?
Absolutely. And Paul says, where do you find the vehicles?
Well, you find them on dreamgiveaway.com, PJ.
Yeah, but where do streamgiveaway.com find the vehicles?
We look everywhere. So we have a list of dealers who we work with. We look at auctions, we look at classified sites, you name it. People call us and tell us that they have cars that are available for purchase, so on and so forth. So we look anywhere we can look to find the coolest cars for you guys to win. And we work really hard at it too.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right, guys, let's wrap it, PJ.
All righty.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes right here in our favorite place on earth.
With and without spoilers.
I was going to add in a little, and you did it for me. In our favorite place on earth, the Dream Giveaway Garage for dreamgiveaway.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you next time, everyone.